Welcome. Namaste. Welcome to Tuesday live readings. My name is Sadhana, and I'm here to do live intuitive tarot readings. And I will start today with a reading for the collective, as usual. And then feel free to post your that is similar to the one that I'm doing for the collective. Then just let me know, and I will use the questions that are in the description box below. Thank you to everyone who is strolling on in. It's lovely to see all the regulars and yeah, and it looks like Hirsch is becoming a regular as well too. So thank you. Thank you for joining, being here. All right. So today we are coming to the close of the first decan of Pisces. And this is a really wonderful time of year, Pisces being the 12th zodiacal symbol, to do a bit of a reflection on how far you have come this year. I think before we step into Aries season, not only is it important to do this kind of a reading, but to give yourself some time to integrate it and to really reflect on what it means, so that when we step into the spring equinox, you you feel like you've had completion of sorts. And so that's kind of where I'm going with this energy today. So you can read along with me down below. Take time to reflect upon your journey around the zodiacal wheel this past year. Excuse me. What has been your primary lesson? What do you understand now that you can carry forward with newfound confidence? And in what area of your life do you feel more confident or capable? So I have broken this down into three questions. Excuse me. First, I didn't actually have a voice this morning, so hopefully we'll be good here today. First one, main theme. So, what has this cycle shown me? Two, what gift, skill, or capability am I ready to carry forward? And three, how can I find peace with all that has unfolded this year? So, this is an expression of it's an expression of gratitude. It's an expression of patience and kindness for oneself and honoring of oneself. So that is what we are going to do. And today I have pulled out an old favorite, the Sasraibito Tarot, which I will shuffle because I was using it in the last session. I hope you are all well. And if anyone is new, please let me know where you are in the world. And if you, if your channel name does not reveal your name and you wish to share your name, please feel free to do that as well too. Okay. So while I'm shuffling, I'll say hi to everyone. Aisha, welcome. And Hirsch, I said hello to you already. Donna, namaste to you. All right. And then scrolling down, looks like you three or four are having a good chat there. Warrior Girl 113, hello. And Saskia, namaste to you. And Lydiane, welcome back. Janine, nice to have you here. All right, if I missed somebody, let me know. And as you come in, I'll do my best, to greet you. All right, and Warrior Girl, do I? I'm just wondering if I know your name. No, you're not on my list. I don't have a lot of W. Oh, yes, I do. KC. You told me your name was KC. There we go. KC. Okay. This is a reading for the collective on the 28th day of February, the last day of February. So I think this also is Um, Calendrically speaking, a good day for this sort of a reading. I went to Emily Carding's workshop on the transparent oracle on Sunday. It was brilliant. I'm really looking forward to using that deck somehow, using both the transparent oracle and tarot on Tuesday live readings. And I think I might get some sort of a light contraption to put on my table here so you can really get the maximum benefit of the cards. Hi, Hannah. Welcome. And wild hair. I have absolutely wild hair. It's snowing like crazy, back and forth. Can't keep up with the shoveling. Pretty much trapped in today. What has this last cycle shown me? So remember, this is a collective reading. So I will do my best to make this as universal as possible. That you have known your truth since you were a young person. That isn't this interesting? Because I didn't think we were going to go back that far. That you have known who you are for a very long time. And that voice resonates powerfully and deeply within you. It is an inner sense of knowing, it is a foundation of who you are. She, just look at that face, look at the hair blowing. I love the pages in this deck, and I'm so glad that one of them is showing up here. Um, she gets you. She gets you. And if nobody else understands you, she understands you. They understand you. And they want you to reach out to them and to let them shine. This is the little girl or the little boy. And for many, many people, this energy gets squashed. It's a little too curious. It's a little too clever. And I think you've understood that this year she's ready to come back and walk with you side by side. Now, for some of you, she is being reflected in if you're an elementary school teacher or something like that, she's being reflected as a student. She could also be reflected as one of your children. And her voice at this time is making you smile. You may be the only one who understands her. So this is kind of brilliant. All right. What gift or skill or capability am I now ready to carry forward? Eight of Pentacles. And how can I find peace? These cards are just spot on, speaking to the energy of the language of the reading. And when I see the origami bird above the head of the Page of Pentacles, this takes me right back to Hiroshima. It takes me to the energy of 1,000 cranes and that whole notion of peace. And I want to say that this partly is about making peace with your childhood, making peace with your inner child. They want to be present in your life. And it is through the peace that you make with your past that you move forward more informed and strongly, more empowered. The card on the left, the intention was a gift or a skill. And I feel I love this card the way so sorry, I'm a real fan of Stacey Barrington's deck. I think it's fabulous. So in this card, this figure is sitting atop a bunch of books and has their face right in another book. And so the idea of gift or skill or talent has been something that you've been working very hard on. You have so many books, you don't have time to read them all. And I am talking directly to myself. I almost thought this morning, as I was looking at my extended library that is now moved into my bedroom, that it might be time to take a pledge to stop buying books until I've read every single book in my library, um, or at least multiple chapters in every book. I pretty much have, but there's a few that I haven't touched yet. So this gift of knowledge that you have been cultivating is going to carry forward, and know that you will be able to use it, implement it in all kinds of ways that you never expected. With the two pages showing up here, this tells me that what will unfold in this next turn around the zodiacal year will feel very much like a fresh start. You have and that same breath, so if that is a fresh start, then this Pisces season is one where things really come to fruition and completion, and I want you to honor every single piece of this because you've done great things. Now, I am a little bit, um, I don't know if overwhelmed is the word, but the connection of these cards is very powerful. And the Eight of Pentacles often shows up for me when a querent is at a point where they're ready to step into a path that they chose not to or were encouraged not to walk on earlier in life. And so what I'm feeling here is a real sense of you taking back your sword. There's also a thread of knowledge here that's very powerful. These are the two knowledge studious pages, and they are here to support you and continue. I'm very excited for myself as well too. I think the learning is paying off, and good on you. Good on you. All right. Okay. Any other fans of Stacey Burrington's deck out there? I can see there are a few comments in the chat. Mm, I know there's a few challenging cards, peculiar interpretations, but overall it really is a beautiful deck. All right, let's hold love, light, support around Aisha as we develop this spread. These three questions for the lovely Aisha. And I may take a few more sips of my hot beverage than I usually do, just to keep my throat um, protected. Okay. All right. So here we are, 20th day of Feb 2023. This is a reading for Aisha as we contemplate her journey, the gifts of her journey this year. Thank you, Jenny. All right. So we're starting with Nine of Cups. Nine of Cups, which is a card of Pisces. It's the card of the second decan of Pisces. So whenever we see a card that also reflects the time of year, I feel like it arrives as an exclamation, and this is really special. This is a card of unfolding fulfillment. You can see the naked woman blossoming, blooming out of the lotus. It's just so gorgeous. Um, and I want to say, and also you can notice the red that is in her heart area. So this journey, Aisha, has been one perhaps that has challenged the heart, but it's also allowed an unfolding for you in a very um, fresh way. Doesn't this card with the human sort of blossoming out of the lotus feel a bit like the page energy from the last reading? You know, this is a fresh start for you, one that is full of a new relationship with your emotions and knowing that you count, you matter. Your feelings are a very important part of your self development. Hello, Diana Tarot Mania. Welcome. Yeah, kind of, it's a very gorgeous card. Nines are so auspicious. Um, and I also love a nine showing up in a card like this because nines are a triple three. They're a triple completion. They're so very complete. So I want you to honor the emotions, honor your emotional body. There seems to be, we have another nine here as well too. The level of self-care seems really important. Now, if the Nine of Cups is honoring the heart, the Nine of Wands is honoring the spine. It could be honoring the alignment of the spine. There's so many different ways I have actually read this card, but you see it's probably a femur bone. Looks like a femur bone attached to the wand. There is a sense of your strength and power. You have This is your gift this year. You have learned to carry, you have learned to take on, you have learned just how much you can bear. Um, very, very like two nines, that's kind of something. Um, okay. How do you find peace with this? The sun. You allow your emotional, or let's call it your e-quotient, the new the new measure of the e-quotient that has grown this year to become a part of your new identity. And I'm very hesitantly use the word identity. We never want to identify too much with anything. But when I see the sun card there and I feel like this bright, beautiful reflection of who you are embodies not only your strength and your power, but also this new awareness of how receptive, gentle, intuitive. And just write down a list of all the beautiful cup words that there are. You have reached a level of fulfillment that is extraordinary. And sun is 19, right? So we have three nines sitting on the table. And if you want to add these all together, 19 plus 18 is 37, and 37 reduces to 10. Right, so this is like I was saying, it's a very full full reading. So I want you to take these 3 cards and sit down with your journal and really, deeply reflect upon how these cards relate to the way that you have emotionally, and you have worked on this. That femur bone is a very powerful bone. You have worked on this development this year, so please give yourself credit where credit is due. Okay. Thank you, Aisha. And Aisha, thank you also for gifting. I saw at the top of the hour you gifted a membership. So thank you so much. I appreciate all your support on this channel. Okay, so I'm going to find Hirsch's question. Just going to mark that one. Mhm. This year has been tough. I have found my patience growing in places I didn't know I needed. Okay, all right. So, where does patience live chakra wise? Chakra wise. Patience. Any thoughts on that? Of course, it's a rhetorical question, but I'd love to hear your thoughts on this because there is a real sense of peace, right? Peace with that comes with patience. Joan B is here. Welcome to Joan. Um, I'm going to say that patience is um, a high frequency of Manipura chakra. So a high frequency of the solar plexus chakra. Oh, Donna, we are on the same page. There you go, sister. Oh, you've got it all mixed up here. So please read Donna's comment, okay? And I'm going to expand on my perception here. So as you're aware, probably the element of fire is connected to the solar plexus chakra and the ego and the sense of self and self-worth and all of that. And in solar plexus chakra, we are working toward letting go. Letting go, I mean, ego, we need to have ego, but we need to not be attached to it. And so in the journey of the solar plexus chakra, we're moving from control to trust. And so there's a great deal of patience that is required there. So I think solar plexus chakra would be the primary place. And so Hirsch, this would be a chakra that you would want to be focusing on. And I think that Donna has some other important points there, but we only have we don't have all day. So let's just focus on this chakra. And so one of the things you want to really make sure that you're building into your practice is diaphragmatic breathing so that you um, excuse me, I just need to say something. Dee wasn't here last Tuesday either. Has anybody heard from Dee or know if Dee is okay? Um, sorry, this it just dawned on me she's not here. Okay. Diaphragmatic breathing is it is very healing actually as well too. And it can really help to calm one down. So if you place your hands on your navel center and you focus on your inhale breath and allow the belly to rise with the inhale breath, and then as you exhale, the belly moves towards the spine. So if you don't know how to do diaphragmatic breathing, this is something that's definitely worthwhile being more conscious of. And throughout your day, not for any extended period of time, but just taking more time to breathe can be very, very helpful. Okay. I have found my patience growing in places I didn't know. Any suggestions with going forward? So, yeah, so my first suggestion is make sure you know how to breathe. Okay. Thank you, Donna. I wasn't aware Dee is ill, but I'm glad that it's just the flu. Yeah, sending love and healing hands and light to Dee. All right, so these cards are for Hirsch on the 28th day of February, 2023. Okay. Lovers, world. Okay. Hmm. There is. So let's use the key word focus for the Eight of Wands. Let's focus on the trajectory of the arrows. Let's also acknowledge the strength that it takes to pull the string back on the bow, and the strength that this focus requires. And once we release this energy, yes, it moves very quickly. But there is a strength and a focus that is absolutely required here. I feel as if, good night, Lydia. I feel this is um, asking you about a particular discipline. Now, I'm also looking at the number 8 on the right, and I'm thinking about um, this. You're saying that a lot is being asked of you, and of course, we all know the adage: nothing more is asked of us than we can manage. And if you can really embrace, and perhaps this is one of your foci, that this is for my greater good. This challenge, this moment, this one thing, focusing on one thing is for my greater good. And I know that this is carrying me to a higher place. Now, I'm not one to throw out Tree of Life references, but this is such a significant card. The way that Stacia has drawn this, the way that this Sag card shows up here. Um, so even if you don't know anything about the Tree of Life, this is um, low down on the Tree of Life. And this arrow is pointing towards the crown chakra. It's pointing towards Keter. It's pointing towards God. This, I feel like this is asking you to focus on your spiritual practice and a very specific um, aspect of your spiritual practice. And that has to do with your self love and your self compassion. And if you were to be more compassionate with yourself, and if you were to love yourself unconditionally, to give and to show yourself acts of loving kindness every single day, all of the situations that you find yourself in would be so much easier. So, you take the example of the diaphragmatic breathing as a self care practice. You don't make excuses for taking time to go and lie down and breathe. You do it as a gift to yourself. You honor yourself. You treat this as a deepening of your connection with spirit. And when I look at that lover's card, that to me is a symbol of how much spirit wants you to love all of you, all of you, the good, the bad, the ugly, the weak, the strong, the light, the dark. So you love yourself unconditionally and you forgive yourself. Okay. All right. The world card here, much like I was saying with Aisha, is again an auspicious card to show up for the kind of theme that I'm developing and working with today. And It is, of course, it's a card of completion, but I love the way that Stacia has drawn this woman who is just so comfortable in her being. She has blue hair and she's standing there naked and she doesn't care. She's powerful and she's walking through this mandorla open to whatever is coming up next. It truly is, um, I want you to take this card as an opening, as a sign that everything that you have been doing has been building towards this next level. You can also look at the 8, right? So the 8 is a leveling up kind of card. If we and it's funny, I don't usually do these numerological things, but let's go with 21 and 6 is 27, and 27 and 8 is 35. So your reduction is 8. So 8 is a significant number for you, okay? So work with the lemniscate as a symbol. Work with the number 8 in other ways as well too, okay? Thank you, Hirsch. I hope that you can find some and you can also reach out to me too. I could do a half-hour session with you, and you can book through my website, okay, if you wanna do a breathing session, and I can teach you how to do that, okay? Thanks. All right, let me scroll on down for Hannah. You're also funny. Multicolor hearts. Lots of love flowing around here. All right, Hannah. You're welcome, Hirsch. Okay. I love her. Great pages in this deck. Maybe I should have Stacia Burrington on my channel. That would be fun. I've never seen her interviewed. Do any of you in the chat have the transparent oracle? Baby Donna had bright orange hair. Aw, carrot top. Mm. Right, this is a reading for Hannah on the 28th of February, 2023. As always, we ask these messages be in the highest for the greatest good and that no harm be done. So be it. All right, so we're reflecting on Hannah's journey around the sun this last 12 months. What has been the greatest lesson? What has this cycle revealed to her? Hmm. 10 of Swords. That surrender That the greatest peace is found through surrender. That the greatest peace is found through surrender. One of the things I like about this deck is that the swords, well, first of all, there's so many things, but the body is facing upward, which is great. The swords appear to be ethereal. Let's build the gift. The gift. Isn't that nice that you get an ace? And the peace. All right, so this is interesting combo of cards. Okay, Hannah. Somehow with those first two cards, and I don't like the word acceptance because it feels as if that it feels like um, as if there's a quality of giving up something, not fully embracing all that you are or what you stand for. And a peace, I feel a peace with spirit. We were talking about earlier, I think it was in Hirsch's reading, about the importance of the idea of trust in Manipura chakra and how we cannot transcend Manipura chakra until we come to a place of trust. It's very difficult to find the healing in the heart space without that. And in the physical body, it is the diaphragm that is the line, it's the anatomical bit that separates the lower three chakras from the upper chakras. And the transcendence of the diaphragm can be supported through deep breathing. But there's also this idea of trust and surrender that is really important. And I almost feel like this cup here, this gift, this skill. Maybe this is the first time in your life where you truly have honored the cup half full kind of energy and are seeing the grace and the blessings in things where you never saw them before. And this might very well be something that you are sharing with others and teaching and mentoring and showing others how to see the cup half full, how to see grace and how to see beauty and simplicity and all of these things. Okay, so how am I going to weave in this one? The question was, how do I make peace? How do I make peace with this part of my journey? And how do I find, how do I honor this? When the old patterns circle back, when the old patterns come back, you come back to your words, your affirmations of trust and faith, and you use this mantra, you use these affirmations to create a sense of peace. You know that through stilling the modulations of the mind, by stilling the mind, we create space. We create space in all aspects of our life. And so you create peace by practicing peace. And so for you, a dedicated practice and I feel like quite a disciplined practice in stilling the mind would be um, of great help. This could be bumblebee breath. Love that one. It could be, oh, there's so many. I don't know what your level of breath and preliminary meditation practices is or what discipline you work with, but I would suggest picking one and really working it so that it becomes your go-to when peace doesn't come naturally. Mm, knitting. Isn't that interesting? There's a lot of knitting needles on these cards. Okay. And can I say breathe while you're knitting? Yeah. Bamboo needles, right? Listening to the beautiful sound of the bamboo needles as they make that sound when they interact with each other. Thanks, Hannah. Mm. All right. Diana, what should I leave in winter season and what should I focus on in spring? Okay. Please hold light, support, and love around Diana as I draw cards for her on this 20th day of February. We have a jumper. I'm going to put it back in. I feel like it wants to go back in. Okay, so we're going to do a two-part reading. I'll do a single card for each side and maybe do a crossing card for each side. Maybe that card will reflect the either the support or the challenges for the two sides. All right. So leave, leave, and focus. Mm, okay. Leave, leaving one of my favorite cards. Okay. The sense that you are little, the sense that you are smaller, that you are a beginner. And so, what would be here in contrast to that would be a king, an emperor, a card of action and leadership. Well, let's just do that. Let's see what's there. Oh, okay. What do we got going here? We're leaving the Page of Wands, and We're moving into something. So 5 of cups, 5 of cups. So this is fixed water, fixed water, Scorpio. Love the rainbow in the background on this card. You're focusing on the discipline of choosing your path, making better decisions, supporting your supporting and strengthening your emotional body. I would say with this card in this position, you have a hard time letting go. You have a hard time moving forward and leaving the old stories behind. You might often feel like you're on a hamster wheel and you just can't get off. And so if I were working with you, I would want to take on a practice such as hi, Katash. I would take on a practice such as, like a personal Ho'oponopono practice. So each morning when you wake up, and I don't know, before you brush your teeth, if you're putting on makeup or what you're doing, you go to the mirror, you give yourself a big smile, and you say to yourself, "I'm sorry. Please forgive me, and I love you." And you build a practice like this so that because the honest truth is we cannot forgive others if we don't forgive ourselves. And this is a very potent card showing up here in the position of what do I need to work on? And like I was saying with a couple of the previous readings, sometimes these exercises need to become a practice. So we have to practice letting go. And this could be taking some favorite things to a charity shop, taking some, eh, like letting go of something you have never been willing to release from your life. So we practice letting go. Okay. Now let's look at the supporting or challenging cards and see if we can get some clarity about these messages. Okay. So we have two water cards on the right, and we have two fire cards on the left. We can also read into that elementally. Okay. So on the left, we have cards of doing and action, right? So these are cards of fieriness, will, drive, passion. And on the right side, we have cards of reception, intuition, feeling. So if you look at the two sides elementally, this also gives you a message. This is a year of softening. It's a year of avoiding through action, letting go of avoiding by doing, being so busy that we don't need to feel, being so busy that we forget to listen. So there's that layer as well too. And with a combination of the Page of Swords, sorry, the Page of Wands and the Four of Wands on the left, there's so many things I could say, and some of them feel quite painful actually. But I feel like there's something that is quite fundamental to who you are, something that you thought may last forever. It could be a relationship, could it be something to do with a child even? that it's not yours to carry into the next year. And it looks like the year forward is one where self-care, self-work, counseling, meditation, chakra workshops, there could be any number of paths into this deep dive into your psyche, into your soul. This is a big year of healing ahead. I want to tell you something. So when one of my daughters attempted suicide, I remember, I don't know if it was before or after. I just remember this one doctor, and all the doctor had to say was, "Get to the gym, you know, start running, go to the gym. If you exercise, all will be fine." And I remember sitting there listening to this and getting really angry inside. Um, and a lot of people avoid their feelings by going to the gym, by working out. And I think your message here is it's time. It's time to dive deep into yourself. Okay. I hope this resonates, Diana. Thank you. Thanks, Donna. Scrolling down to Warrior Girl. You're welcome, Diana. Casey, I think there's also something in the heart for you, something of the heart. And I feel as if that your heart wants to open. And I also feel some tension in my right shoulder. So this may have something to do with your active energy or a strong figure in your life. Okay. This is a reading for Casey on the 28th day of February, 2023. Spirit, please acknowledge all of the conversations that have happened here today and incorporate these lessons, words of wisdom into supporting Casey as well too, as we look toward her March 2023, which is tomorrow. Wow. Look who's back. Look who's back. Temperance. Knight of Cups. Fire, water. Fire and water. Feels very much, it's like I could just kind of go ditto. But let's expand on these particular cards and how they are different. from the previous message. Some people are surprised by the way that I uh, interpret the temperance card. I feel that when this card shows up, there is a personal responsibility to act upon one's wellness. And we can look at this from a very mundane level of food, environment, to very spiritual level of, so for example, if your life has been all about astrology and you've been studying astrology, spiritual astrology, getting into the higher frequencies of astrology, but there is another way to balance that, and that might be by adding a different school of astrology or learning about the hexagrams of the I Ching or something. You know, temperance is about alchemy. It's about reharmonizing and finding balance. We had the Lovers card in a previous reading, and there's this really interesting relationship between the Lovers card and the Temperance card. And we can look at that also where they appear in the zodiacal wheel. The Lovers card is in Gemini in the mutable air season, and the Temperance card is in the mutable fire season. And they are both in their own way doing their best to find to there's a recovery also that's required here, a recovery. Um, that feels like an important word. I love the sense of innovation, and attitude that you see in the card on the left. And then there is an inner knowing, a patience um, that is on the card on the right. And so a marrying of these two energies is a perfect way to spend time with that particular balance. When I look at these two figures here, I think about how they could be the best of friends going through school. They would have been best friends through from elementary school through junior high, all the way through school, and nobody would they probably also had their own circles of friends and groups that they associate with, and the Knight of Cups stood back and watched the feisty little Page of Wands at all her sporting events and the things that she did, and he was there quietly in the background supporting her. And Casey, at the same time, both of these energies are within you, and they are both part of who you have always been. And so I think part of this message for you is in supporting the completeness and the wholeness of yourself as you move into this next um, so Aries season can feel like we want to dive into something. Aries season wants to move fast. There's this martial energy that is impulsive and wants to run. But I feel this message for you is to acknowledge how important the integration of each and every decision that you make is. Hmm. You know, I feel like there is I really feel like the Page of Wands and the Knight of Cups represent people that you know, or you are one in one of those, and then the other one was your best friend at school. It's the most unlikely of friendships, but it works. Hmm. And so it's important to bring them back together. And I'm speaking in metaphor, of course, but yeah, so I want you to bring these two back together to help you on this, with this, through this. Hmm. Thank you, Casey. Siloka. All right. And this is the final reading for today. I want to talk just for a moment before I do Siloka's reading about a workshop that is coming up on March 11th. And approximately once a month, I am going to do a private live stream, and we're going to talk about one planet. So on March 11th, we're going to talk about the moon. Does it say moon there? It doesn't say moon. So March 11th is moon, and we're going to look at some of the mythological deities around the moon. We're going to talk about the energy of the moon itself, and then look at the moon and the high priestess and all the decanic minors that are associated with the moon, as well as the nines, and try to weave in a story and deepen our understanding of the tarot by planetary association. And I'm going to do this 7 times. And so there's one, and these are 3-hour workshops. And it'll be a live stream, so you can chat in the live stream. I may also open it up so you can put your face on the screen. I'm trying to keep this as easy as possible for me with editing. Um, so yeah, if you're interested, go to the shop on my website and hop into this. Okay. All right. Um, so we're going to go to Siloka. Siloka. I will find you. Thanks, Donna. Okay. I'm just looking for your questions, Siloka. I will do my best to find it here. Siloka or Donna, can you paste the question for me, please? I will try to find it. Siloka. Hopefully you're still here. Oh, there we go. Found it. Okay. Fitosh, I start at 12:30 Pacific. You can also book a reading, a private reading through my website as well, too. Okay. Am I reading your name right? No, I'm not reading your. It's SLL. Slloka. Sloka. Sloka. I'm sorry if I'm destroying the pronunciation of your name. And There is a wonderful website called World Time Buddy. World Time Buddy, and I think that's what it's called. It's a great place to figure out time zones. I am 8 hours different from GMT. Okay. This is a reading for Sloka on the 28th day of February, 2023. Reflecting on their relationship with S. What are S's current feelings toward Sloka? Okay, that was a very definitive cut. Okay, Sloka wants the truth. Sorry, S wants the truth. S doesn't want anything to be hidden in clouds, games. If this relationship is to work with S, it's very important to be your own true self with S. Okay? You're both S. Lovely cards. So this is another air card. What are S's current feelings towards me? Hmm. It's quite a powerful combo of cards. I feel that they, so hard to say this in just a few words. They feel that coming together with you, so it might actually feel kind of overwhelming being around you. You are not a simple person. You're quite a complex person. And entering into a relationship with you is going to require that they are committed and that you are on this journey together. This is a journey of mutually uh, discovering, unfolding, growing, learning, and transforming. In order for this relationship to be successful, I repeat, there must be transparency. Mhm. So, what are they feeling? They're feeling like this relationship is going to be a lot of work. You bring out, do you know that expression? You make me want to be a better person. You make me want to, that might be from a movie. You make me want to be a better person. You make them want to be a better person. But sometimes that's just, that's too much. So my best advice is to take it slow, to give them the space that they need. Um, but it feels like also that they're ready. They want to initiate a relationship. You awaken something in them. Mm, kind of a beautiful message. Yeah. All right, everybody. That is a wrap for today. And I will be back tomorrow. Tomorrow we have Falarcos and tomorrow's deck. Oh, yes. Tomorrow I am going to share the Glow Wood oracle cards, and that'll be tomorrow evening. This is quite an extraordinary deck of oracle cards, and so I'm going to be sharing it tomorrow night, and I'll be live in the Facebook group at 6 p.m., and I'll see some of you in class as well. Okay, take good care. Let me turn that off. There we go. Namaste, everybody. Thank you, Donna.